Welcome back to the second episode of Austin's Arguments. Today we're going to talk about finish up the Kings Rangers series, the Heat Spurs, and then go over a little bit about the World Cup. So on my last one, I believe that the series was 3-1 in favor of the Kings. They went ahead and won Game 5 back at home in double overtime. As much as I am a Hawks fan and I dislike the Kings for obvious reasons, them beating us in Game 7 in overtime, it was. I thought it was ended up being a very good series. I don't know how many of you guys watched the overtimes, but I I did not have a fandom in the game, and I know that I was pretty intense. And in fact, I had work at 6 the next morning, and I continued to stay up to watch it. So that's how intense it was for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought going into Game 4 that it was a little bit boring. I think the Rangers winning made that better to watch, definitely for sure. Hats off to the Kings. They're an incredibly resilient team. Just so many times, I think they may have set a record on the amount of times being down 2-0 in goals and coming back. Just phenomenal. I can't say enough about their roster, and it's just ridiculous to see. A little bit of other hockey related news. Hawks are letting go of Michael Handzus. Um, you have to cut salaries somewhere, and I guess Handzus is one of the players. Not a huge blow, sad but not devastating. I want to keep this nice and short, and I want to get to my main topic the main reason I'm doing this. So we'll do the U.S. plays at 5. It's currently like 4:40 here. They're playing against Ghana, and I guess my like who I'm rooting for in Germany. And this was before the game. This was back when they were announced the groupings and whatnot. They won 4-0. Muller actually had, and once again, you guys can correct me on if I'm even pronouncing his name right. Had a hat trick. I actually got to watch some of that on my lunch break today. That was very nice. And to the main topic, the Heat and Spurs series. That finished up was today Monday? Yep, last night, and it did not end in LeBron James' favor. The Spurs won 104-87, and they ended up winning the series 4-1 back at home. And there's not much to say other than you actually have to start feeling for a guy like LeBron. He had a pretty good series. Like, you can't ask for too much more from him. And his teammates just non-existent. I don't know if they decided that they were gonna take the day off, or if they're like, well, you know what, LeBron, go out there and score 70 points for us, and maybe we'll win. But either way, they are no longer in the playoffs, and I think that if I'm LeBron, I definitely opt out of my contract. I try to find. I mean, he did everything, and I think that people portray him wrong as far as teaming up with superstars. But he set out and he wanted to win rings, and he did that. He won 2 of them. He went to 4 titles. So I think sure the way that he did it with the decision and all that will always be like at the forefront of everyone's mind. But he really did what he had set out to do, and you really have to question about like Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and Ray Allen. Ray Allen had an awful night last night. Being a shooter and going 1 for 8 is about as bad as you can get. Dwayne Wade was not too much better. Just was not a good night for the Heat. Hasn't been a good series. They won Game 2, of course. So much for DJ Khaled and his. I don't know if you guys have heard his comments, but he said that he wasn't worried about the Heat going into Game 2, and actually said that actually was going into Game 3, and then he blamed everything on the first loss on the air conditioning being out. So definitely started to feel for a guy like LeBron, which is something that I think that most Bulls fans will say that they don't do. Um, I think that LeBron will head back to Cleveland, and I hope that he does it in like good terms. And if he should, I think that I could actually see myself rooting for him. He's a likable guy. Like there's nothing that he did wrong outside of the decision. He's really been mature. He he's the best player in basketball. He's just hands down a freak of an athlete. So you naturally have something where you like him. So I think I think once he does go to Cleveland, and I believe that he will, that this will all be lost, and everyone will start liking him again. And I don't think that people talk, and I've seen so far like a lot of people switching over to the Spurs bandwagon, and I don't. It happens in every sport whenever any team wins, but I think that I actually wonder what happens to the Heat fan base after the split of the trio slash quad row. I don't know what it becomes if it's four with Ray Allen. But anyways, I don't. They become Knicks fans. They become Lakers fans. Whatever they do, I hope they're not Bulls fans. So that's what I really wanted to go over was LeBron and the fact that he really could not have done too much more to like try to help his team get the three-peat. So that's it. I'll be posting this up later. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at ISUREPPIN12. You can feel free to send me a friend request on Facebook, Austin Guthrie.